I'm at Armando's. I got a meeting here in about 10 minutes. Knowing Raven, make that 20 minutes.
You're meeting Raven? That's a surprise.
Surprised me, too. She tracked me down at April's, asked me to meet her here for a drink. Under the circumstances, I think I'd rather have a drink with Lucretia Borgia.
Safer, too. It is kind of unusual, Logan, just 3 days before the opening of the trial.
That's what she says she wants to talk to me about. That or the lack thereof. I couldn't pass up a chance to hear about that.
Are you saying she's offering to throw in the towel?
I don't believe that for a minute, Mike. I think it's just a new game with all the rules in her favor, of course, but thought I'd give it a try. There may be a chance we can settle this out of court.
Yes, I agree, but Raven must understand by now the only way to avoid a trial is by her surrendering all her rights to Jaimie.
I made that very clear.
Well, I don't have to warn you to be careful.
Oh, you don't. Well, I just called to apologize for the change in plans and let you know what I was up to.
That's perfectly all right. Just let me know what happens.
Will do.
Goodbye. Bye.
Raven wants to see Logan?
Yes. I just hope Logan is capable of a good defense.
Hello. So how do I look? Presentable to my husband?
Ravishing, as always. But I thought Logan was impervious to your charms.
He's a man, isn't he? You're all alike.
Don't get carried away. I raise no objections to you meeting your husband, only because it's in a good cause.
Don't worry, it's all business. I have to convince Mother not to change her mind and to leave the will alone. And if I have to use Logan or anybody else to do that, I'll...
You'll do what? Anything? Raven, before you do your dance of the 7 veils in front of Logan, let me remind you who calls the tune around here. That's not nearly the extent of the damage I can inflict, Raven. If you think this is a good time to go back and you promise to...
My promise? You mean your blackmail?
If you think I'm going to sit down while you try and seduce your own husband...
Well, why shouldn't I? What are you going to threaten me with? The letter?
You'd be very embarrassed if that letter showed up in court.
Hey, wait a minute. I think you forgot something. What if there is no custody trial? What if I don't want Jaimie? Then your whole blackmail scheme just goes right up in smoke.
You'll find a way to change your mother's mind.
Well, if I don't, Jaimie's worth nothing, your letter's worth nothing, and the blackmail is worth nothing.
There's more than blackmail between us, Raven.
I have to go see Logan.
Don't sleep with him.
Elliot, we're just having drinks. Besides, you already have company. Be careful, darling, he's in a bad mood.
I could come back later if you like.
No, Jody, it's okay. Come on in. I didn't expect to see you here this evening.
Yeah, well, I thought I'd come back to work tonight.
Feeling better, huh?
Yeah, I'm feeling a lot better. And I want to start doing something useful again.
Except this is not what you really want to do, is it? You want to become a dancer.
True. But that's going to take time. I have so much to learn.
Of course. But you have one thing in your favor. You have that lovely, agile young body.
Oh, thank you. Now the trick is to make it dance the way I want to.
I'm sure you can make it do anything you want. How old are you?
I told you, 18.
Are you sure?
Yeah, of course I'm sure.
I realize I didn't ask you for any identification when you started to work here.
Well...
I'm not questioning it. It's just that you have to be 18 or over to serve liquor in this state.
I know. I am 18. It's just that my mother was really lousy at keeping birth records and things like that.
Oh, she was very good at producing a beautiful child.
You know, I really like this job, Mr. Dorn. And I'm very healthy. I am.
Oh, yes. Yes, you are. You're very healthy and you're very appealing.
I think I better go put my uniform on now.
Jody, no big hurry. There are only a few customers out there, and Kimberly can take care of them. Have you had supper?
No, I haven't.
Why don't you ask Ronaldo to fix you something? I may join you in a while.
Hey, Jody. Hi, how you feeling?
Oh, hi, Kim. I'm feeling much better.
Good. Well, listen, hurry back to us, okay? We miss you.
Yeah, I will.
Hey, Jody.
Oh, hi, Kelly.
I didn't know you were coming in tonight. Are you starting again?
Yeah, I am.
Oh, well, what's the matter? You look like you're upset about something.
Oh, it's nothing. I just talked to Mr. Dorn and...
And what?
Oh, it's nothing, Kelly, really.
He's not giving you a hard time again, is he? Listen, he promised that you could start back here working as soon as you got your strength back.
No, he's not objecting. He's just acting sort of funny.
What are you talking about?
Well, I think it has something to do with that woman with the dark hair who comes in here.
Oh, yeah, Raven Swift.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard all about her. She's married to the DA, but she's separated now. Oh, she just came breezing by here about 5 minutes ago. Still smell her perfume?
Kelly, I think I'm going to go out for a little while.
Hey, Liz, why don't you have something to eat here? It's one of the benefits that comes with the job.
Yeah, I know. I'd rather not. I'm not hungry.
Well, wait a minute. Maybe you just don't want to eat with me, right? Don't worry, I've already eaten.
Kelly, I'll be back in about an hour, okay?
Where are you going? Oh, I get it. You got to drop in down at the old dance palace, right?
Kelly, the truth is, Mr. Dorn asked me to have supper with him, and I'd rather not. Do you understand?
He did what?
Hey, Kelly,
Yeah?
since when did Mr. Dorn start having dinner with the waitresses?
Look, I don't want to talk about that.
Where's your day, McGrath? Talking to yourself again?
No, Mr. Dorn, I was just rehearsing.
Where's Jody in the kitchen?
No, she just left.
She left? I thought she was going to have supper.
Well, I asked her the same thing, but she said she wasn't hungry.
See?
Don't worry about it, though. She'll be back in about an hour.
Thanks for nothing.
I don't like that man.
Yeah, Big Red. I don't either.
Come on, Arlene, you're sluggish. Fulfill those moves. Would you stop watching, or if you don't know the steps, go home and learn them? Come on, girls, you do better. Stay together. Hey, you're here!
Gavin, you never seemed so glad to see me before.
Sure, I'm glad. Take 5 minutes, girls. You're my star pupil now, remember?
Yeah, well, I'm afraid I can't be too much of a pupil tonight. I have to be back to work in 1 hour.
Well, you can do some limbering up exercises. I'm sure you probably need plenty of working out after all that inactivity at your sister's place.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I'd like to do some exercises. Just don't ask me to dance, okay? I think I'm going to save my strength for the unicorn.
Oh, so you're back to slinging hash again, huh?
No, they don't serve hash at the unicorn. What they do serve are these tiny little hamburgers and these tiny little sandwiches and lots of alcohol. Gavin, did you really mean what you said before about teaching me dance lessons for nothing?
Sure, I meant it.
And I can use the studio anytime I want to, free of charge?
You can use the studio, but only under my direction. It's a package deal, Jody. You agree to one condition, you agree to them all.
Yeah, but you haven't told me any of the conditions.
I will. I was just waiting for you to get your strength back. I was waiting for you to get ready to work in earnest. Because if you're not willing to give me everything that you've got, if you're not willing to really knock yourself out for me, it's not worth it.
But you know that I want to be a professional.
Damn it, I'm not talking about being professional. If that's all I thought you were capable of becoming is another good professional, I wouldn't be interested.
Well, then I don't know what you want me to say. That I'm going to become a star? Kevin, I'm not sure if that's possible.
I want you to be sure. I want you to have faith in yourself. And maybe more important, you've got to have faith in me.
I do have faith in you.
No, you don't. How could you? You don't know the first thing about me. You don't know how good I am, how well I teach, what I've accomplished.
You know, you've never given me a chance to find out any of those things. All I know is that you've been to New York, and that you have a father in the construction business who hates what you're doing.
Never mind that. The important thing that you have to know about me now is this. I want one thing out of this crummy world. I want to teach somebody to dance. Just one person. Somebody who's going to be so good that they will be a star. That there'll be a feature performer in some really good show. And in the program notes, it'll say, Jody Travis, protege of the famous dance teacher Gavin Wiley. How does that sound to you?
Scary. I mean it, Gavin. I don't know how good I can get.
What's your hurry? You've got plenty of time. You also got me. Okay, everybody, let's go back to work.
I'm afraid it's worse than that because I saw Draper earlier today for the paper. And, honey, his memory isn't perfect, even though he doesn't have amnesia anymore.
But he does recall the events leading up to the wreck, doesn't he?
Yes. Yes, he does. And he only remembers some of the details of the following 6 months. I mean, his staying with that family in Evansville and then moving into his own home, thinking he was somebody entirely different. But otherwise, honey, there are too many gaps in his memory.
That doesn't surprise me, Nancy. The effects of amnesia do vary. And it's not unusual for someone to have blank spots.
Yeah. True. It's not to say that he's forgotten the people who were important to him at the time. That Dr. Galt and his daughter, the young lady that Draper thought he was married to.
That bothers you, doesn't it? The fact that he was living with that woman.
Well, Mike, I can project myself into that sort of situation, and if you were the one living with another woman believing that she was your loving spouse, I know exactly how I would feel.
And how do you suppose Draper feels?
I think he feels guilty. That doesn't mean he's at fault because he was deceived the way he was.
I didn't mean that. I was talking about the fact that April had a life of her own during his absence.
Oh, you mean Logan?
When Cliff first told us about the crush that Logan had on April, we didn't take it too seriously.
Well, there wasn't any reason to take it seriously because April was a widow and Logan was going through a situation almost as sad.
Nancy, Logan is in love with April. And who knows, the feeling may be reciprocated. I wouldn't be surprised if April felt the same way towards him. Now, how do you change your feelings overnight?
Will you? At least you're watching us. There's no sense in putting on a show.
The kiss was not for the public. A double martini. See, you've already ordered a drink.
Yeah, I was running out of sugar cubes and I was getting bored waiting for you.
I bet you needed a drink. You must be in pretty low spirits.
I'll feel a lot better once this meeting's over.
I know why you're depressed, too. Draper came back and upset everything. Oh, how you must be feeling.
You don't know how I'm feeling. You never have known how I was feeling, and you never will. I don't think you're ever going to know how another human being feels.
I'm as human as anybody else, and I know what your problem is. Draper had the bad taste to come back from the dead and ruin your little romance with April.
I thought that's what this might be about, so I'll see you another time.
It's not. Sorry, I just had to bring up the subject because I know how it influences your past, your present, your happiness, and your future.
There's only one aspect of my future that I am willing to discuss with you this evening. Now, if you want to talk about that, fine.
I want to discuss it. It's very important for my future, too.
All right. Well, what did you want to tell me about the trial? It starts in 3 days. It better be important.
That's the point. It starts in 3 days. I need more time.
You what?
I need a longer time than 3 days. Now, I know you have some influence. Can't you get them to postpone the trial?
Yes, I could. Why should I?
Because I don't know if I want a trial at all. I told you that on the phone.
What is all this about?
Logan, I am confused. I don't know that my having Jaimie is the right thing, and I need some time to think about it.
This is a stall, isn't it? What do you want to stall for?
What do I have to gain by stalling? It's the truth. It's Mother. She's got me thinking a little differently about things, and... well, I think Jaimie might be better off with his father. I know that I might have turned out a lot better had my father lived and been around me, so... don't you understand?
No, I don't.
Logan, will you postpone the trial? I need some time to work things out. Please?
April told me you were doing some babysitting for Raven Swift.
Oh, that was just for the afternoon. When Mrs. Swift came home to change, she called a regular sitter, Mrs. Cross, and she came over. I came here to be with Emily.
She hasn't spoken?
Not one word since they put her in this place. Have you talked to Mr. and Mrs. Scott about making any new arrangements?
That's exactly where I've been, making arrangements. Emily's going to be transferred to the Hathaway Pavilion tomorrow morning. She'll have a much nicer room. More important, she'll get the best of care.
Can they really help her, Doctor?
Look.
Molly, don't do that. Molly.
She's completely gone from us.
She's not completely gone. With help and care and patience and love, we can bring her back.
But to what, Doctor? What does Emily have to come back to?
Molly, you know that I am not a psychiatrist, but it's pretty obvious that Emily has escaped from a world that she did not find to be too pleasant. But I don't think her condition is permanent. I don't think it'll last.
Anyone tell you that?
No, I haven't had a clinical diagnosis, but I do know that there will be some very fine, very understanding psychiatrists, and they will be able to help her.
But how can they, Doctor? Look at her. She couldn't even answer any of their questions. She couldn't lie on a couch and tell them all about her childhood.
There are other approaches to therapy these days, Molly. Just trust in the fact that she will be helped.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm really very grateful, Dr. Kavanaugh, and I know Emily would be if she knew how much was being done for her.
Maybe she does. Maybe she just can't respond.
Is that possible? Possible that someone like this could understand what's being said to them?
Yes, I think it's possible. We just don't know for sure.
I see.
Well, I'll be trying to look in on her as often as I can when she gets to Hathaway. I assume we'll bump into each other there.
Oh, yes, I'll be there as often as I can.
Goodbye, Molly.
Goodbye, Dr. Kavanaugh. Thanks.
Well, thanks are due to April and Draper, you know that.
Yes, I do know. Can you hear me, Emily? Is there something in your mind that understands? Oh, I hope there is, because If you do, I have something important to tell you. Very important. I was home last night, Emily, when Draper, came home to his wife. They were strangers to each other. I mean, I know we sort of are in a way, and there should be some kind of awkwardness between them, but there was something more. Much more. I think it's not going to last. This marriage of theirs. It died when he died, and you cannot bring back the dead. We both know that.
The marriage isn't going to work, Emily.
Don't you see what that means? To you. To your future.